Jeopardy! Host Mayim Bialik has left fans frustrated after they spotted a quirky habit of hers. Mayim, 47, is currently fronting the popular game show while host Ken Jennings is on hiatus. However, many Jeopardy! Viewers who tuned in this week were not overly impressed with Mayim and her hosting style. In particular, they noticed that the mother of two takes too long to respond to contestants when they give their answers. Taking to Twitter, one viewer fumed, "As hard as I have tried, I do not care for Mayim Bialik hosting #Jeopardy. She pauses before she answers and it drives me crazy. And I'm spoiled from the masters." A second person agreed and replied, "My sentiments exactly. I think she waits for somebody in her ear to tell her whether the answer is accepted and it annoys me to no end, and then there's the master's hangover I have also. Ken Jennings has humor and charisma." A third viewer added, "It's funny you say that because my wife and I say the same thing about the weird pauses, although I don't mind her in general, but I think a lot of people prefer Ken Jennings." A fourth tweeted, "The pause annoys me so much. She's great at Celebrity Jeopardy though, and I wonder if it's just being more comfortable around actors who might be able to ad-lib." Someone else said, "I need to know who I can call about Mayim Bialik pausing for 10 seconds after every single answer before saying they are correct. It's making me insane. At Jeopardy!" And another added, "I stand by my comment that Mayim is a poor host. Long pauses, mistakes, stepping over responses, weak connection with players, she just doesn't work for me. #Jeopardy!" Earlier this week, other viewers begged Jeopardy! Producers to address the issue. Many people expressed that if Mayim isn't fast enough to mark the answers right or wrong, contestants might have time to keep adding to their responses and go from correct to incorrect in doing so. One Reddit user put it, "I'm not posting this to open up any Mayim bashing, but do we know the reason why she pauses so long before confirming an answer is correct?" Another agreed, "It's not Mayim bashing at all to point out her pregnant pauses are confusing contestants, not to mention we viewers. Producers need to address this as it is not just annoying, it could affect the outcome of a game," they added. And a fourth, "Yeah, that's my issue with Mayim. That pause can lead a contestant to think they're not correct, and subsequently add to or change their answer. It could cost a contestant big time. I don't understand how they continue to let this go on." A fifth wrote, "My husband said at this point the producer should be fired for letting it go on so long." Ken, 48, wrapped the thrilling Jeopardy! Masters special, which was won by James Holtzhauer. Underdog Mateo Roach, 24, came in a close second last week. Mayim, 47, Ken's co-successor to Alex Trebek, is finishing out the regular season until the summer. Ken won't be seen until the 2023 Tournament of Champions, which will kick off season 40 in September, barring the last week of season 39. That week, he is subbing back in to host as Mayim plans to support the WGA writers' strike. As the familiar theme music of Jeopardy! Echoed through living rooms across America, fans eagerly settled in for another night of trivia. But this time, the atmosphere was charged with a sense of unrest. Viewers found themselves at odds, their loyalties divided between the show's two prominent hosts, Mayim Bialik and Ken Jennings. While Bialik brought her own unique flair to the iconic quiz show, many fans felt a growing sense of nostalgia for Jennings, who had previously captivated audiences with his quick wit and calm demeanor. In a recent online poll, fans were vocal about their preference, with the phrase "We miss Ken" becoming a rallying cry on social media. What was it about Bialik's hosting style that was driving fans crazy and reigniting debates about who should take the helm of the beloved show? A new era begins. When Mayim Bialik first stepped into the role of co-host for Jeopardy! Alongside Ken Jennings, there was a wave of excitement. Known for her impressive intellect and charm from her role on The Big Bang Theory and her academic background, many were hopeful that she could bring a fresh perspective to the show. Yet, as the weeks turned into months, it became apparent that Bialik's approach was different from Jennings's. While Jennings had a knack for making contestants feel at ease, often engaging in light banter that brought out their personalities, Bialik's hosting style leaned more towards a structured approach. Her demeanor was often perceived as overly serious, and some viewers felt she lacked the warmth that Jennings effortlessly projected. Fans took to Twitter and other social media platforms to express their sentiments, with comments like, "I miss the lightheartedness that Ken brought to the show," flooding their feeds. Contestants and audience reactions. The rift wasn't only among the viewers. Contestants began sharing their experiences, revealing how the atmosphere in the studio felt different under Bialik's leadership. While she was undoubtedly knowledgeable and respectful of the game, some felt that the energy was more subdued compared to the Jennings era. One contestant commented, "With Ken, it felt like we were all part of the fun. Mayim has her strengths, but the vibe isn't the same." As the weeks progressed, the audience reactions became increasingly vocal. During live tapings, murmurs of discontent could be heard as fans commented on Bialik's delivery and interactions with contestants. Complaints ranged from her pacing during questions to a perceived lack of enthusiasm, which had been a hallmark of Jennings's hosting style. The trivia community speaks out. Within the trivia community, the debate raged on. Online forums dedicated to Jeopardy saw an uptick in discussions dissecting each host's strengths and weaknesses. Some fans defended Bialik, arguing that she deserved time to grow into her role. "She's still finding her rhythm," one user wrote. "Give her a chance to bring her own style to the show." However, the pro-Jennings sentiment remained strong, with many arguing that his return would restore the magic that made Jeopardy a staple in American households. A particularly heated thread showcased fans passionately stating their reasons for preferring Jennings. "He makes it feel like a celebration of knowledge, while Mayim feels more like a strict teacher." Ratings and responses. As ratings began to show a decline, the producers of Jeopardy were undoubtedly taking notice. Fans expressed concern that the show was at a critical juncture. With many feeling disconnected from the current hosting duo, a decline in viewership was a valid concern. The pressure mounted on Bialik to either adapt her style or on the producers to reconsider their hosting strategy. Bialik, aware of the chatter surrounding her hosting, took to her social media accounts to address the comments. In a heartfelt video, she thanked fans for their passion and loyalty. "I understand that change can be challenging," she said. "I'm here to honor the legacy of Jeopardy and make it enjoyable for everyone. I appreciate your feedback, and I'm constantly learning from this experience." The future of Jeopardy. As the season continued, a question lingered in the air.